Elon Musk has reportedly approved Africa's first self-powered train, a creation credited to the Zimbabwean innovator Maxwell Chikumbutso. This claim has spread like wildfire across tech circles, but the reality may be far stranger than anyone expected. Some say this train runs entirely on RF technology, harvesting invisible waves in the air to create endless propulsion. Others whisper it is a carefully planted rumor, designed to distract the world from Maxwell's other mysterious inventions. The rumor begins with leaked documents that allegedly show Tesla engineers visiting Zimbabwe in the last year. These documents are not verified, but insiders suggest they reference a non-battery propulsion rail system. That phrase alone has fueled speculation that Maxwell's self-powered concepts are finally scaling to industrial transport. For years, people laughed at the idea of a vehicle that powers itself without charging or fuel. But if this train is real, the laughter might turn into awe and maybe even fear. Some reports claim Musk gave a quiet nod of approval after seeing a demonstration in a private test facility. Others insist he has no involvement at all, and that his name is being used to give the rumor credibility. This is where the story takes on a life of its own, because in Africa, Chikumbutso's legend is already enormous. He has been linked to self-powered cars, generators, drones, and even aircraft that never need refueling. Most of these claims remain unverified, yet videos and eyewitness accounts continue to surface online. Now, with trains in the picture, the scale of this innovation could disrupt entire industries. Imagine a continent where rail transport moves goods without diesel, without coal, and without overhead power lines. The economic shockwaves of such a breakthrough would be felt worldwide. Energy companies would panic. Rail operators in Europe and Asia would suddenly face a rival technology that makes their infrastructure obsolete. And if Elon Musk really approved it, then global investment could already be flowing quietly into Africa. The story may or may not be true, but the possibility is enough to rattle old systems of power. Why would Musk be interested in this rumor? Perhaps he sees it as competition, or perhaps as collaboration. There are whispers that Tesla's engineers are secretly experimenting with wireless energy harvesting on American soil. If so, then Maxwell's train could be a real-world prototype, proving what Musk's labs are still dreaming about. Some say the train has already completed a 500-kilometer test journey between Harare and Bulawayo. No official record confirms this, but grainy photos of a futuristic-looking locomotive have surfaced on local forums. Critics dismiss them as Photoshop tricks, but believers argue they show a technology hidden in plain sight. In these images, the train seems to move without overhead cables or traditional fuel exhaust. That detail alone has kept the speculation alive. The supposed technology behind it is RF harvesting, the ability to capture radio frequency energy from the air. Scientists admit RF harvesting exists, but at very small scales, usually powering sensors or tiny devices. Scaling it up to drive an entire train sounds impossible, unless Maxwell discovered something the world doesn't yet understand. And that is exactly what his supporters argue. They claim his inventions bend the limits of conventional physics, tapping into unused fields of energy. Skeptics call this pseudoscience, saying no known equations back up his designs. But in the rumor world, that doesn't matter, because the mystery only makes the story stronger. Musk's supposed approval adds another layer of intrigue. He is a man who prides himself on chasing the impossible. Electric cars were once dismissed as fantasy. Private rockets were seen as ridiculous. Now both are industries Musk dominates. So if he even whispered support for Maxwell's train, the rumor feels instantly believable. Some sources claim Musk told a small group of investors, Africa might just leapfrog the West with RF transport. There's no recording of this, but the line has been quoted in countless social media posts. It may be fabricated or it may be real, but in the rumor economy, perception is often more powerful than fact. Maxwell himself has stayed silent on this specific train project. His past interviews, however, often hint at larger applications of his energy devices. He has spoken of powering cities, airplanes, and national grids without fossil fuels. A train, then, fits perfectly into his vision. What makes this rumor even more compelling is the timing. Africa is currently investing heavily in new infrastructure. China has poured billions into rail lines across the continent. The West is watching nervously, knowing control of transport routes means control of trade. So if an African innovator has created a train that requires no foreign fuel, the geopolitical impact would be massive. It may even explain why Musk's name is being tied to the project. Attaching a global tech celebrity makes the story impossible to ignore. And if the rumor is false, it still forces the world to consider what would happen if it were true. Rail transport is the backbone of economies. It moves minerals, food, fuel, and people across vast distances. Making that transport free of fuel costs would unlock unimaginable profits. It could also strip power away from oil-producing nations. For that reason alone, some believe powerful interests might try to suppress this technology. There are whispers that Maxwell has been pressured before, that deals have been offered to silence him. If true, then connecting his train to Musk may be a way of protecting the idea from being buried. Because if Musk's name is attached, the world pays attention. And if the world pays attention, suppression becomes harder. Still, there are cracks in the rumor that raise questions. Why are there no verified blueprints of the train? Why has no major African government issued an official statement? Why has Tesla not commented? The silence itself could mean nothing, or it could mean everything. Some insiders claim non-disclosure agreements are in place, preventing anyone from speaking openly. If that is true, then a quiet partnership may already be underway. Perhaps Tesla wants to test the train in secret before unveiling it. Or perhaps the entire story is a cleverly designed myth to boost Maxwell's legend. Either way, the rumor keeps spreading. Tech forums debate it endlessly. YouTube channels create animations of what the train might look like. Reddit threads dissect blurry images and supposed leaked schematics. Every new post adds fuel to the fire. The longer the story lingers, the more people begin to believe it might actually be possible. And belief is a powerful force. It drives investment. It drives research. It drives fear in industries that could be disrupted overnight. Imagine oil executives hearing whispers of a train that never needs fuel. Imagine governments realizing Africa might no longer depend on imported energy. Imagine companies scrambling to investigate RF propulsion before they are left behind. Even if the train does not yet exist, the rumor itself pushes the future closer. Because once an idea spreads widely enough, someone will try to make it real. That is how innovation often begins, with whispers of the impossible. Musk himself has admitted in the past that he pays attention to wild rumors. He once said, "Crazy ideas are often dismissed until they suddenly change the world." If he sees Maxwell's train in that category, then maybe approval has already been given in spirit. Or maybe not. Perhaps Musk has never heard of the train at all. Perhaps this entire story was spun by local bloggers trying to put Africa at the center of global tech talk. If so, then it has already succeeded. Because right now, people across the globe are asking, could an African train really run forever on free energy? The answer is uncertain, but the question is electrifying. And maybe that is the point. Whether true or false, the rumor places Africa at the frontier of futuristic transport. It forces the world to consider Maxwell Chikumbutso not as a fringe inventor, but as a possible disruptor of global systems. If the train is real, Musk's approval may be just the first sign of a new alliance. If it is not real, the rumor still plants a seed in the minds of engineers everywhere. What if a train could indeed run on RF technology? What if Africa became the birthplace of the next transportation revolution? Those questions will not disappear. In fact, they will grow louder. And perhaps, in some quiet laboratory, the answers are already being built. Some say 2026 will be the year the world sees the first public demonstration. Others say the demonstration has already happened, hidden away in the deserts of southern Africa. Only a handful of witnesses may know the truth. But one thing is certain, the story refuses to die. Musk's name keeps it alive. Maxwell's reputation keeps it intriguing. And the dream of free, self-powered transport keeps it irresistible. That combination ensures this rumor will echo across the internet for years to come. Whether fact or fantasy, it has already changed how people think about trains, energy, and Africa's role in the future. And maybe, just maybe, when the smoke clears, we will discover that the rumor was only the beginning of a much larger truth. Some insiders now claim the self-powered train may already be running quietly at night on restricted African test tracks. They say freight containers have been moved without a single drop of diesel being burned. Other reports suggest the train hums with a strange low frequency, unlike any normal locomotive. Witnesses describe it as gliding almost silently, as if powered by invisible streams of energy. But then again, these witnesses may be exaggerating or misled by clever tricks. Some engineers believe the train could simply be hiding a new type of battery, rather than pure RF technology. If that is the case, then Maxwell's legend grows bigger than the actual machine. Yet the rumor keeps insisting on the RF breakthrough. This breakthrough, they say, allows the train to collect energy from towers along the rail line. If Musk has indeed approved this system, it could mean Tesla is experimenting with wireless power on a massive scale. Or it could mean Musk's name is being used as bait for investors. Either way, the idea is too powerful to vanish. The world now waits for one clear image, one undeniable test, to prove the rumor right or wrong.